this cucumber, they would have gone through different processes that you would not know, and then they end up in your kitchen and end up in your vagina. So avoid putting vegetables like cucumber into the vagina. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melody and I'm a registered nurse. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 7 things that should never go into your vagina. Please stay tuned and make sure you watch this video to the end to see everything that I'm going to say. First off, the vagina is an amazing part of the body. So it has its own system that helps to regulate it, keep it away from infections and all of that. For example, the pH of the vagina is between 3.8 to 4.5, which means it's slightly acidic. So what this acidic nature of the vagina does is that it inhibits the growth of microorganisms that would have caused infection. Although things like sexual activity, childbirth, all of this can slightly alter the pH of the vagina, but the vagina tries to maintain itself in these uh, slightly acidic numbers. So there is something called normal flora. So these are like bacteria that are naturally in the vagina. So we have mostly lactobacillus species. So they are usually there in the vagina in a reduced number. So what they do is that they help to maintain the pH of the vagina to this acidic level that we've talked about. And also it's able to outcompete harmful organisms that would have come to cause an infection. So we also have yeast that are in their reduced numbers. So that is how the vagina is able to regulate itself and maintain its environment. Now, having said this, you find out that some of these things I'm going to mention that you shouldn't put in the vagina, what they end up doing is that they alter this whole system that looks perfect. So it alters it such that the body or the vagina is now prone to having infections. Now, the first one I'm going to mention is fruits and vegetables. The most common vegetables people use is cucumbers. Now, this might seem like a harmless idea. You wash it, you can use it, but putting things like cucumber into your vagina helps to introduce bacteria into that place, and then this cucumber, they would have gone through different processes that you would not know, and then they end up in your kitchen and end up in your vagina. So avoid putting vegetables like cucumber into the vagina. So another thing that should never ever go into the vagina is something called potassium aluminum sulfate. So in Nigeria, we would normally know this as alum. So I think the basic thing I know it's used for is they use it to wash snail. We know snail has this slippery surface. So when you use alum to wash snail, you can see how that alum is able to strip off all those moisture from that snail and make it strong. So it causes the same effect on the vagina. It strips away the moisture from the vagina and also cause the vaginal wall to be hardened. So which means that if there is sexual intercourse, the person is now more prone to tear during sex. And also at the same time, it disrupts the pH of the vagina. And like I said, this vagina, if you disrupt this environment that it has created for itself, you now expose yourself to an infection. So please don't put alum. Please, oh, please don't put alum in your vagina. This is our vagina. It's not kitchen. It's not like the mouth that you can throw things inside. Please. Another thing that you shouldn't put in your vagina or shouldn't do to your vagina is something called douching. So douching is like something people do to flush or purify or cleanse the vagina. But like you would already know, vagina is like a self-cleansing organ in our body. So they kind of do like either like try to like flush the vagina. Some people use just water, some other people use products that are found in the market. But this douching also end up disrupting the pH of the vagina, and then it makes the person prone to yeast infection. So please do not douche. This is not to say that people should not take personal hygiene around that areas seriously. So we have the vulva, which is the external part of the vagina, the urethral opening. We have the labia minora, the labia majora, the clitoris. All those areas is what we call the vulva. So that is where you are supposed to give it a good wash. You can use water. There are also unscented products that you can use in that area, but you shouldn't have anything that you have to like go into the vagina opening itself. Another thing that should never go into your vagina is things like perfumes, lotions, and all of that that you hear these days that they want you to smell fresh, freshen up the place. So people end up putting this kind of product like perfumes inside the vagina. Now the vagina is supposed to have its own unique smell. Obviously it shouldn't have a fishy or bad smell, but don't expect your vagina to smell the same like your perfumed clothes. Don't expect that kind of difference. If you try to push it, you end up putting scented products inside the vagina, and then again it disrupts the pH of the vagina, making you prone to infections like vaginosis, yeast infection every time. So please don't put perfume inside your vagina. Another thing you should not do is using things like massage oil, coconut oil, shea butter oil, cooking oil, all of those oils that I mentioned now. Please do not use them for lubricant. Now this oil that I've mentioned, they are not recommended because they have been linked to causing skin irritation. They have also been linked to causing infection. And if you are using condoms, they are also have been linked to damaging the condoms in the process, so you end up having no protection from the condom. However, if you need like a lubricant during sexual activity, there are water-based lubricant that you can buy off the counter to use. Another thing you should not do is to leave your tampons on for too long. So leaving tampons on for long has been associated with something called toxic shock syndrome. So this looks like sepsis in a way, where you have like sudden fever, blood pressure drops, confusion, and all of that. Leaving your tampons on for long means that toxins go into your bloodstream and they cause very bad problems for you. So please do not leave your tampons on for more than 4 to 6 hours. I've done a full video where I talked about menstrual hygiene, what to do, what not to do. Another thing that you should not be doing is constant use of antifungal, antibacterial medications, inserting them into your vagina at every minor discomfort. So especially for people that live in countries where this is accessible, in Nigeria you can go into a shop, get yourself an antibacterial, and then you insert it there. So people kind of do this at every discomfort, so you end up actually killing the normal flora or the normal bacteria that are supposed to be in that place, which means that you are now exposing the vagina to more infections. So please do not use antibiotics that are not prescribed. If you have any discomfort, if you have itching, discharges that you don't understand, it's important to actually see a doctor before you start treating them. And even if you treat them and they reoccur again, please don't go ahead and take the next medication that is available. And if it is not supposed to be inserted into the vagina, please don't insert any medication that is not meant to be inserted into the vagina then. Another thing you should not use is herbal mixtures like garlic, cloves, or even vinegar. This one, it's usually recommended for treating vaginal infections. But instead, what they do is that they cause infection because, again, these things disrupt the normal flora of the vagina, disrupts the pH, removes the bacteria that are supposed to protect you, and then end up causing more infection and irritation to the vagina. So please don't use garlic, cloves. And there's no scientific proof anywhere that things like garlic, clove can actually work. So what happens is that you end up using this thing, and in the end of the day, you're actually delaying getting proper treatment for the infection. So please don't use things like that inside your vagina. Finally, I'm going to conclude it that by saying that this is not to judge or tell anybody what to do or what not to do, but make sure anything that you're putting inside of your body, it's something that is safe enough for your use. And if you have a concern or an infection, it's important to see a doctor. Sometimes the minor itching that you are experiencing might actually be something that will go away on its own, but just see your doctor instead of going for the next antibiotics that is available. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.